America is caught between two completely different seasons right now. If you're anywhere from Maine to Virginia, you woke up this morning to some of the most dangerous cold this country has seen all winter. Surface temperatures below zero, wind chills cratering to 45 below in the mountains of upstate New York, and potential record-breaking lows across the mid-Atlantic that could rewrite the history books today. But if you shift your eyes westward, a massive pattern flip is already underway. And by Monday afternoon, some places along I-80 in Nebraska could touch the low 70s, nearly double the normal February high. That temperature contrast is staggering, and it's setting the stage for what I think could be one of the most eventful stretches of weather we've seen in months. We've got a Valentine's Day storm signal that's getting louder by the hour, a Pacific fire hose about to drench the snow-starved West, and a polar vortex that's splitting apart above our heads. Let me take you through all of it. By the way, if you'd like specific weather forecasts for your region or city, please leave them in the comments. I'll answer them individually as time allows. Also, if you like the video and subscribe to my channel, you'd be very grateful. Now, let's move on. Let's start with the cold, because what's happening right now across the eastern third of the country is genuinely life-threatening. The Weather Prediction Center confirmed yesterday that a dangerous Arctic air mass is sitting over the eastern Great Lakes, the Ohio Valley, the Mid-Atlantic, and the entire Northeast. Today could deliver record-low maximum temperatures and record low minimums across the Mid-Atlantic. We're talking readings 20 to 30 degrees below where they should be for early February. Wind chills have been savage. 30 across New England, 20 in the Philadelphia and D.C. corridor. Parts of upstate New York near Albany have already hit 45 with the wind chill. And tonight, those numbers could get even worse before dawn on Monday. Yesterday afternoon, Cape Cod and Long Island dealt with near whiteout conditions when moderate snow combined with howling northwest winds cut visibility down to almost nothing. Those winds will ease overnight, but gusts of 30 to 35 near the coast are going to keep it feeling absolutely brutal through Monday morning. Frostbite can set in within 10 minutes at these levels. Cover every bit of exposed skin if you're heading out. But here's the thing. While the East suffers through this, the rest of the country is about to experience what I'm calling the Great Thaw. A massive ridge of high pressure has been building across the western and central United States, and it's about to shift eastward in a dramatic fashion. By Monday afternoon, temperature departures from normal across the plains will be jaw-dropping, 30 to 42 degrees above average in some spots. Des Moines, Iowa could reach 70 degrees on Monday. The average high there this time of year is 32. Topeka, Kansas might run 42 degrees above normal. The 60-degree line pushes into southern South Dakota and southwest Minnesota. Record highs are not just possible, they're likely. This warmth is going to keep propagating east through the week, spreading into the mid-Mississippi Valley, the Ohio Valley, the Tennessee Valley, and eventually taking the edge off that bitter cold in the Northeast. New York could see temperatures climb from the teens into the 40s by midweek. D.C. might push toward 50. It's going to feel like someone flipped a switch. The climate prediction, C-Center's 6 to 10-day outlook, paints the vast majority of the lower 48 in the above normal category, with much above normal conditions stretching from Dallas and Houston all the way to Sioux Falls and Minneapolis. That's extraordinary for early to mid-February. But notice what's starting to happen out west. Below average temperatures are creeping into the Pacific coast. That's the trough that's going to bring the West its first serious moisture in weeks. And that temperature boundary sitting over the middle of the country is where all the action is going to be. Let me walk you through what the models are showing for the next 12 days, region by region. First, the Pacific Northwest and the West. A storm system is already moving onshore this evening across Washington and Oregon. This is the opening salvo of what looks like a sustained pattern change for a region that desperately needs it. The Cascades in Washington and Oregon are going to pile up snow potentially several feet in the highest terrain through midweek. The fire hose of moisture will migrate south through Monday and Tuesday, and by Tuesday, the Sierra Nevada in California should start seeing heavier snowfall with potentially feet in the upper elevations. Coastal California, San Diego, Los Angeles, Sacramento could see meaningful rainfall for the first time in weeks. By Wednesday, the energy pushes into the Rockies, and Denver, which has had a pathetically quiet snow season, might actually pick up some accumulation. A stronger trough is expected to dive down the west coast late in the week, bringing another round into the southwest and renewing precipitation across the Great Basin. Snowpack across the Sierra, and much of the Cascades has been sitting at only 50 to 70% of normal, and Colorado is tracking toward one of its worst snowpack seasons on record. Every inch of this moisture counts. The northern Rockies, western Montana, Idaho, northern Wyoming carry the strongest odds for above-normal precipitation through the rest of February, with some areas exceeding 50% probability according to NOAA. Now, the Midwest and Great Lakes, Chicago, Detroit, Minneapolis, Milwaukee, Cleveland, Indianapolis, you're looking at an incredible temperature swing over the next few days. Chicago goes from single digits this weekend to potentially near 40 by midweek. Minneapolis catches a similar break. But with that dramatic warming comes instability. A clipper system will track through southern Canada and the upper Midwest early in the week, bringing light snow and possibly some freezing drizzle that could create hazardous travel. The Great Lakes region remains flagged for above-normal February snowfall. NOAA has Michigan at 50 to 60% above typical levels, and Ohio, Indiana, Wisconsin, and Illinois are all in the same zone. Lake effect snow will keep stacking up whenever cold air flows over the relatively warm lakes. Buffalo's relentless snow machine isn't shutting off anytime soon. The Northeast, New York City, Boston, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., Hartford, Providence, Portland. You're enduring the worst of it right now, but relief is coming faster than you might think. Monday will still be cold, but by Tuesday and Wednesday, the warming trend pushes in. Light snow from northern stream energy is possible Tuesday night into Wednesday across portions of the region, but it's not a major event, maybe a dusting to an inch. The bigger question is what happens later in the period. The NWS Weather Prediction Center is tracking energy entering the southwest late in the week that could renew moisture across the central and eastern states by next weekend. Both the GFS and the European Ensemble members are showing some type of low pressure, developing from the southern plains and tracking northeast toward the Ohio Valley around Valentine's Day. The GFS is more aggressive, painting a full-blown wintry system with snow on its northern side, changing to ice and then rain further south. The European model is more muted, but the signal is there. NOAA's probabilistic hazards outlook is showing 20 to 30% chances for snowfall, exceeding 4 in across the north-central U.S. for February 16th through 18th, with potential for heavy snow on the backside of this developing system. Washington, D.C. remember February is historically the city's snowiest month, and 3 to 7 in for the full month remains very much in play. The Southeast, Atlanta, Charlotte, Nashville, Raleigh, Birmingham. You're still recovering from January's catastrophic storm that killed over 150 people across 16 states. The immediate trend is warmer. That ridge pushing east is going to bring some genuinely pleasant days to the south by midweek. But the Valentine's Day storm system developing over the plains could bring the southeast side of that low into severe weather territory. Thunderstorms, heavy rain, and potentially a severe weather threat from Texas eastward to the Corollas and along the Gulf Coast are all on the table for mid-February. Further south, it'll be too warm for widespread winter weather. But any cold air that wraps around the backside of these systems could still produce isolated wintry threats in the higher elevations. Don't let a few warm days convince you that winter is over down here. The plains and south-central states, Dallas, Houston, Kansas City, Oklahoma City, Omaha. You're about to enjoy the warmest stretch since fall. Kansas City and Oklahoma City could see 50s. Dallas could flirt with 60, but this warmth is also fuel. When that Valentine's Day low pressure sweeps over the Rockies and forms up over the plains, the clash between this warm, unstable air and the cold trying to filter back south could produce some serious weather. Isolated showers begin as early as Wednesday around February 11th from Dallas to Nashville, but the frequency increases sharply heading into the weekend. The GFS is showing a big-time low-pressure system developing over the plains by Saturday the 14th. Severe weather on the southeast side, heavy snow on the north side. This is a classic late winter into spring setup, and almost certainly something significant is going to happen in this time frame. Looking beyond Valentine's Day into February 16th through 20th, the trough across the west amplifies further. More cold air filters south across the northern tier. The upper Midwest, Great Lakes, and Northeast will feel winter returning by the third week of February. Mountain snow keeps adding up out west, and the polar vortex, confirmed to be splitting following a sudden stratospheric warming event, adds uncertainty. The Madden-Julian oscillation is temporarily shielding the U.S. from the cold signal, which is part of why this warm-up is happening. But once that interference fades, late February could see the cold come roaring back. The 3 to 4 week outlook keeps above-average temperatures across the southern tier from Miami to Phoenix. But the northern tier gets progressively colder as March approaches. March itself looks volatile. Big swings, late-season storm potential, and a transition that could surprise in both directions. Bottom line for the next 12 days, the east thaws out this week, but don't get too comfortable. The west finally gets its moisture. A Valentine's Day storm is loading up over the plains with snow, ice, and severe weather potential. And the polar vortex collapse means this winter still has plenty of fight left in it. Stay warm, stay ready, and I'll be back with updates as this Valentine's Day system takes shape. Thanks for watching.